Happy Kaiju Live! We're winding down the month-long marathon of Kaiju content with Godzilla King of the Monsters issue 23, the second to last issue. Oh man, it's breaking my heart, but so very cool. We got the whole might of Marvel coming up against the King. We got the Avengers front and center on the cover. So I got this original issue here. I got my black and white Essentials volume. We got the reprint omnibus. Let's dig into this book. Hey, there we go. That original issue on the right there. You can tell because that corner there is really creased bad. And you know, we got that black and white on the left here. Omnibus in the middle. I'm digging it. Let's check out that first page splash, huh? And check that out. We got Godzilla at full size facing off against the Fantastic Four and the Helicarrier Behemoth. Very cool. Herb Trimpe's just knocking it out. This looks so awesome. And just a fun little bit of dating it. We got that big old Jaws 2 poster there at the theater, so ain't that fun. But let's turn the page and get the story moving. But yeah, this story just kicking right off. Godzilla back to full size, middle of New York City, and he's just ticked off. So he's thrashing about. He goes straight for the helicarrier right in front of him, which is actually a good thing because it gives him a target to lash out at and track down instead of just wrecking the whole city. I love this panel here where Godzilla's just roaring, so angry. And everybody in the helicarrier is just freaking out because they went from being sad and bored to like full red alert, like, oh my goodness. So they're chasing him down. Godzilla's running after him and causing a bit of collateral damage as he stomps on through. And I mean, with the size he is, how could he not? So all missiles just blasting at him to distract him because this dumb police officer thought, hey, maybe I can use my little pea shooter to take him out. But all that did was tick Godzilla off. So much fun. So we got the Fantastic Four coming into the fray. Mr. Fantastic going back to the Baxter building to get Sue and Ben. And Johnny, he's going off to go get the Avengers. Little Rob, though, he's spying out of the porthole that Godzilla's back, and he's just overjoyed because he felt so mournful not getting to say goodbye to Godzilla there and Godzilla being sent through time. All the S.H.I.E.L.D. people, though, they're just scattering, not knowing what to do. But here we get what I think is probably one of the most memorable parts of this whole entire series, at least for Marvel Comics fans. This always is a point I see referenced or talked about, even when you're not talking about Godzilla, but you're talking about some Spider-Man and some Jameson moments. This right here is up there with Jameson getting into Robbie about what to do with this whole riot going on and all the commotion. We need photographs. And then Godzilla coming out, and of course we got Jameson just sticking his head out the window and chewing him out. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't even know how many of these these big old skyscraper buildings have windows that can open, at least anymore. But back then, that seemed to be a thing because I see it in comics all the time. But all the same, it always strikes me as unrealistic. Not the most unrealistic thing happening in this book, though. I could talk about this page longer, but it speaks for itself. Jameson chews Godzilla out just because he has the gall of it, and Godzilla gives it back in kind. Doesn't even use his atomic breath. He just blows some hot air back at Jameson because that's what Jameson was sending his way. Doug Moench just does such a great job with this whole series. He's just one of the best writers out there, and just by all my favorite characters he's worked on, and he's been one of the best writers on them. So that's very fun. Not all of them, but way too many to be a coincidence. But here we got the aftermath of the Jameson clash, and we cut to the Avengers and them being notified of what's going on and being dispatched to all the action. And this is cool because we're getting the two biggest comic book superhero heavy hitters coming together. And at this point, I don't think X-Men was a thing. Now, by the time I was reading comics, X-Men were already the biggest thing, way bigger than the Avengers were. But back in the day, I think the Fantastic Four were the biggest. And you had the Avengers a little bit lagging behind, but not by that much. But here we got both of those teams coming together to take them out, which is a big upgrade from the champions, huh? Not that I don't like them. I have some fun with the champions, but so we're getting a lot of great destruction here as Godzilla's going through the city. Rob makes his way into the helicarrier area, trying to talk some sense into Dugan, but at this point he's doing what he does, which is go head first into things, and they're just trying to deal with it. Of course, he's none too happy that these tights just showed up, because that just complicates the matter as far as he's concerned. And like he mentions in the comic, that just means you're going to get a bit of clashing of egos and hope they don't end up fighting each other. But yeah, Godzilla just blasts him with his breath. What are they going to do? Like, Johnny Storm ain't standing a chance to that. Like, Godzilla's fire is a little bit hotter. I do love how Godzilla reacts to getting smacked by Thor's hammer here, though. And him actually, like, it really ticks him off. It hurts worse than anything he's ever felt. And it makes sense with it being that magical hammer made out of the Uru. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. But man, what an end right here. We have the promise of Battleground Manhattan. Godzilla gets knocked into the water. We have, as promised on the cover, Yellow Jacket and Wasp were defeated Godzilla, at least momentarily, zooming into his ear and messing up his equilibrium. But that just ticked him off, and he's back and angry and ready for more. But man, this page is just so flipping cool. This full page of him just rising up out of the water. The waters that he once entered when he was at his smallest, as that little rat fighting size. So that's fun. And they mentioned that in here too. So let's look at this one in the other versions. Got this really nice black and white here with the essential. And man, that looks so cool. And I feel like the bubbling, rising water looks a little bit cooler here than it does in the color there in the omnibus. What do you think? But in the black and white, I feel like there's just a little bit more like heat and menace to it. But him just coming out of the water, rising like that is just so awesome. I love it so much. Man, oh, that's so tight. And here we can see that final page in the original issue, and that's looking really cool too. But if we look at the water here, we don't actually see the color shading difference that we do in the original issue, just from the color fading and whatnot, as we do in the reprint. So we get a different vibe from that scene from all three versions of that final page. Very cool. And of course, you can see this is on a different side of the page spread in the original issue just because of ad disbursement. But man, I'm so sad. We only got one issue left. But man, I've been having so much fun with this. And if you've been watching along too, I hope you've been having a good time. I hope you join me for more Kaiju Live, because we're not quite done yet. I got a few more really cool things to look at, and that includes the final issue. So I hope to see you then.